Hi, I'm James, and today I'm going to show you how to cut up a whole chicken so you don't have to buy a pre-cut chicken ever again. It's real easy to do and takes just a couple of minutes. Some of the tools you're going to need for this is a sharp knife, like a chef's knife. I prefer using a boning knife. You'll also need a set of shears, either this kind, which will cut through bone really nicely, or regular kitchen shears will also work really well. The other thing I like to do is put a damp paper towel or a kitchen towel underneath my cutting board. This helps secure the cutting board so it doesn't slide around as much. There's numerous ways to start cutting up a chicken. Some people like doing the leg. I like to start cutting with the wing first. So the first thing I cut is the wing tip, which is just this little flap right here. If you bend it, you'll see where the joint is, and you should be able to take your knife and cut right through there. Save this for stock. We'll do this on the other side. Again, bend a little bit and then cut right through where it's bending. If you get some resistance in there, just slide your knife one side or the other and you'll eventually hit that spot. To cut the rest of the wing off, I'm going to let the chicken help me a little bit by pulling up on it and then bending it a little bit. You'll find again where that joint is. So then I like to feel around in here with my finger and you'll feel a little bit of a ridge. That's exactly where you want to put your knife, and it should go right through the socket. You'll see right here, and then just take your knife and follow it around. On the other side, just grab the wing, pick him up a little bit, feel around a little, and then that is where the knife goes in, and you'll feel it slip, and then pull that out. And then you end up with a chicken wing, which you can turn into a buffalo chicken wing if you'd like, or if you want to cut these into two pieces, again, your help is by bending it a little bit. So you just keep sliding around until you cut right through the joint. And then you end up with the drumette and the wing flat. For the legs, we're going to turn him over on his back. And then what we're going to do is cut as close to the leg as possible, just through the skin, not through any meat. Because what we're wanting to do is see in here and then move this around, cut a little bit more here, and then when I push the leg, it should pop itself out of the joint, and then start from the front of the chicken, work your way through that joint, but don't cut all the way through, because where I want to point out is this piece right here. It looks like a little nugget or an oyster, and that's exactly what it's called. It's the oyster. You want to make sure to save that, so cut around that and then through the rest of the skin. This piece here is one of the most tender and juiciest parts of the chicken, so I like to make sure that it's saved. So then for the other side, I'm just going to turn them around. Again, cutting the skin close to the leg, and then letting it fall open a little bit, pulling the leg down until it pops, and then going from the front, we're going to go through that joint. But again, we're trying to save that oyster, so we're going to slice right around it and through. So now you have a whole leg quarter, so the drumstick and the thigh. If you want this into two pieces, the easiest way to do this is to turn it over, move the skin a little bit, and you'll see some fat lines. Fat lines are a great indicator of where to cut. So I'm going to start, and you can feel in here a little bit, just cut right through there, and it should lead you right through that joint. So you cut through the joint here, and you end up with a drumstick and a thigh. Now, to cut the breast, what I like to do is remove the wishbone first. So if we move the skin up a little bit, the wishbone sits right in here. Now you don't have to remove this, but I like to remove it just because it's a little easier to eat. All right, so we'll take the knife and we'll cut right through this opening, just follow the bone around, and then you'll see exactly where it is. So it's right here. Then you take your knife and you cut along the other side of it, and this goes straight down. Just keep following it all the way up. And then do the same on the other side. And don't worry if you're not quite as clean. You puncture it a little bit. No one will ever know after it's cooked. All right, so now we've met at the top, and then all I'm going to do is take the wishbone and pull up on it, and then it should release itself. You may have to slice through it. Save this for stock. Now we have our breast with the backbone still attached. So we're going to cut the backbone off, and again, we're looking for a fat line, which is right here. This is where I like to take my shears to get through, but right here is where it's just a little bit of skin. So I'm just going to cut through that first, then take the shears, and then start cutting through those ribs till you get through to the other side. Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and we can go through here, cutting through the ribs, and at some point you can just start pulling back, and then it should separate from the backbone. Okay. Now here's your prize for cutting up a whole chicken. This is the backbone. It's got a lot of flavor, a lot of collagen in it, so you can make a really good stock with this. If you don't want to do it right now, just put it in a bag and toss it in your freezer and save it for like 3 or 4, and then make a really rich, delicious stock, but do not throw this away. So now we have a breast that still has the center bone to it. So what I like to do, turn it over, and then with a sharp knife again, we're going to cut through just a little bit of that bone. You can see I didn't get real far into it, just a little bit of a notch. Then we're going to turn the breast over, and then with a little bit of force, just press down, and you'll feel that the bone flattens out just a little bit there. Okay? Then we're going to cut through the top. Feel for that bone and go on one side or the other. So I'm going on the right-hand side of that. And then with a little bit of force, you can just push your knife right through there. It's not a really firm bone like the leg or the wing. It's mostly cartilage. You can see it even bends. So then we're just going to clean up the skin a little bit here. And then we end up with a chicken breast with the ribs still attached. Now, if you want a boneless breast, then all you do is take your knife and go along the side of that center bone again, but just follow the bone around. You'll see that it actually curves where it meets the ribs. So very carefully, just keep pulling that meat back, keep slicing through, and your knife will follow the bone and naturally pull the breast meat away. And then we're ending up with a boneless chicken breast. Again, save this for stock. And if you want a skinless breast, that's real easy. All you have to do is start pulling it up, and then with your finger, just start pulling the skin away. And there you have a boneless, skinless chicken breast. And you'll see by doing this, it took just a couple of minutes, but you've also saved yourself about $3 to $4 a pound by cutting it up yourself.